UFC 293, O'Malley, Sterling. Let's get right into it. Starting off with Munoz against Vera. What do you got?
I think this is going to be a very weird fight since Marlon Vera is known for being a slow starter, and now he's in a 3 round fight against someone that is like impossible to finish. So I,
29 fights, bro. 29 has not been finished once.
yeah, and it's a tale of two people with great chins that are somewhat slow. So it all depends on who wants to pick up, and I think Cheeto picks up first because he had so much criticism about his last fight with Corey Sandhagen. I think he'll pick it up more and will get this fight by a decision. There is no chance this fight ends in a KO, TKO. There's no chance this fight ends in a submission. I just don't see that happening.
I don't know, man. I mean, as much as I don't like Cheeto the person, I think the fighter, I think he can light anybody up on any time, any round. So I still throw that out there. I still think that Cheeto wins it by decision, but in saying that, I think that he makes Pedro just want to get out of the ring as soon as
Yeah,
possible.
and
He'll backpack him. He'll do all that type of stuff.
you have to note
Uh,
though is Cheeto is 5'8" and with a 70-inch reach, while Pedro Munoz is 5'6" with a 65-inch reach. And Cheeto is a very long style. His leg kicks are nasty. His overall kicks are really good, but he's gonna play long, and his kicks could definitely stop this fight. But Cheeto doesn't really check kicks himself. I mean, he checks it to a degree. It's not as bad as Sean Strickland, but Pedro Munoz does throw a lot of kicks. So this fight's going to be very interesting. I think this fight wins fight of the night for sure. These guys aren't going to get knocked out. They're going to throw overhands. They're going to throw everything but the kitchen sink. And that third round is going to be very interesting because that's when Cheeto picks up and that's when Pedro picks up. So the first round, we're going to see a slow fest, and then we're going to start seeing these guys start pouring it on. I'm going to be entertained nevertheless.
yeah, but like if you're saying they both start slow, how are you gonna say it's a fight of the night when you've already gotten half the fight by just touching? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I don't know. I just think this third round will be so entertaining that it does pick up to a fight of a night. And I see a lot of these fights on this card not going to the third round, not going to a finish. I see a lot of these fights either being a finish or a very slow decision if it does get there. So I personally think this will be fight of the night. I mean, there is no bet going on for this, but it's just my opinion. And let's move on to this Damon Blackshear versus Mario Batista. Damon Blackshear coming in on 7 days' notice, ladies and gentlemen. After that beautiful twister that he pulled last week, he is stepping up for Cody Garbrandt against Mario Bautista. And as much as I want to ride this,
He's gonna get
he's going to
sparked.
get
He's
sparred.
gonna get
I
sparked.
mean, this is not even a catchweight fight. Like, usually you'll have a 135er who's coming in on short notice. Oh, let's make it at 140, 148, blah, blah, blah. This is at 135.
Nope.
He's now cut
Yep.
twice to 135, and now he's against a bigger competition in Mario Bautista, who's on a tear right now. So I think
Yep.
Mario Bautista sparks him. I hope Damon Blackshear wins because who doesn't love an underdog story? Who doesn't love this guy just willing to fight anyone? But I think Mario Bautista gets it. How about you?
Yeah, I think Batista gets him honestly in a sub. I mean, he's the majority of his fights gone in sub, and I think that especially like I think Blackshear is gonna be a little bit happy because he's got that twister and he's gonna try to play on the ground and he's gonna get caught in something. He's not gonna realize how deep he is, and he's gonna get cranked. That's exactly how I see the fight going out.
Yeah, Mario Bautista has 6 subs, and he only has 3 KO slash TKOs in his 12 fights. So I would
There you
think a
go.
sub happens as well. Maybe what you said, Blackshear gets a little too happy about that twister and tries taking him down. Um,
Hmm.
but if Mario Bautista touches him, I think it's kind of over because I mean 2 weight
Yeah.
cuts in a row is never good for the body, never good for the brain.
No, it kills you.
I can't imagine how it's gonna be for Damon Blackshear. So I think that's a lock to see Mario Bautista win by.
Yep.
by either sub, KO, or maybe if Damon Blackshear shows his toughness, it's a decision. But in my opinion, it's a KO or a sub.
Yeah.
Then we got this random beef coming out of nowhere: Neil Magny versus Ian Gary. Gary was looking to fight Neil Magny before Jeff Neal, and Jeff Neal pulls out. I don't know the injury; it's undisclosed. But now Neil Magny steps up, says some controversial things about hating a kid. Like
Some shot out stuff. He's got a shirt or something like that too.
it's
Like,
super weird, and Ian Gary did not take that lightly whatsoever. They have 11 years in difference. Ian Gary's 25 and Neil Magny's 36. I can see this fight being a Neil Magny show where it's heavy clinching, heavy heavy grappling, gets to a 3 rounds and gets the decision 29-28. But I can also see Ian Gary spark Neil Magny, you know?
yeah. I mean, I was gonna say, give me under 2 rounds and Magny by knockout. I, not Magny.
I was
Jesus
about to
Christ.
say.
Ian Gary. Give me Gary. I think Ian Gary just makes him pay, and I think he's going to do the same thing. You say he's going to wear and tear on him. He's going to sit there. He's going to be on the clinch. He's going to throw his body weight on him. Is he shorter? Yeah. Does he not have the reach? Yeah. But like, essentially, what I'm thinking is that like you're talking about the trajectory of careers right now, and Ian Gary's just on another level. Like, there's a reason why that this fight wasn't made before Magny had to step in. And that's essentially what I'm basing it on. I think Magny just, I never favored him, so I don't want to talk shit, but I don't think he matches up with Ian Gary well at all.
I don't think so either. I think the Jeff Neal fight versus Ian Gary was going to be a very interesting one because I thought Neal was actually going to win that. I really thought Neal was going to put it on Ian, show him that there's levels because Jeff Neal has never left the top 15 and he's always there to fight. But with this fight, I see an Ian Gary KO or decision. My only issue
Yeah.
why I think decision and not just a flat KO. Neil Magny's only been KO'd once, and that was against Lorenz Larkin. So Neil Magny does have a chin, and he is super long. So you're not going to see him maybe get caught with one of these wild exchanges or like these inside boxing moments that Ian Gary does get people in. If Ian Gary catches a head
Yeah.
kick, if he throws a head kick to Neil, that might work. But Neil Magny will most likely either duck under or lean back. I don't see Ian Gary throwing too many kicks because he doesn't want this Neil Magny fight with dirty boxing, with the clinching, the grappling. Ian Gary needs to keep his distance from Neil and overall cruise to a decision, cruise to an easily striking decision, or if Neil gets frustrated, catch the knockout. I don't see this fight going. Uh, I don't see this fight finishing in the first round or the second. Ian says the 8 minute mark, whatever is going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's the only way a knockout happens is if Neil gets very frustrated about Ian Gary and walks into something lazily. Yeah.
Could. Definitely could. But in saying that, that brings us to Wei Lee against
The
Lemos.
first
What do you got on
the
that?
first title fight that we have on this card. Amanda hits like a
Facts.
dude. I mean, she is so power. This might be the first time, other than Rose Namajunas, that Whaley might actually not have the strength advantage in this fight. Cause
I don't even think Rose had it. I think she just had more precision.
yeah, exactly. That's why I was saying if you want to count Rose, because Rose wasn't overall strength heavy, but she was powerful.
It's just how she
Yeah,
placed
she was
it.
powerful and precise compared to Zhang Wei Li, which is just
Yeah.
Zhang Wei Li is also built to the gills. But Amanda
Bro, did you see her pick up and got him?
and easily too. Like she's like what
Yeah,
135 maybe walking around 125 maybe, and she just picks up a
yeah.
270 guy like it was nothing. But I see this fight. There is a chance, and I really do believe it. Amanda Lemos wins this. I really do think that. I think if Amanda Lemos does catch Zhang, Zhang gets a little too trigger happy. She hasn't been in a fight in a while. Amanda could catch her and it could be over. but I do see an MMA display with Zhang Weili. I think she mixes all of her weapons beautifully, gets some wrestling in there, make Amanda think before throwing these haymakers, and she cruises to either a sub or a decision. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think Whaley's just gonna she's out for blood. Like the whole division, anyone can get it after especially getting flatlined. So I mean, now that she's back as that champion, it's like, all right, new run. So I think she just lays into Lemos, and I don't think Lemos will be able to catch up, whether it be on the feet, whether it be wrestling, and just being pressed to the mat. I think Whaley puts on a show.
Yeah, I definitely see a either round one. The only way Amanda Lemos wins this is by finish. Amanda is not really any sort. There's no question about 5 rounds. We don't know how she is. She might have a gas
Yeah,
tank to hold that power, or might not. But if she doesn't, Zhang Weili just kills her because Zhang Weili's cardio is absolutely insane. You see the Joanna fight,
it's
that
ridiculous.
pace that they were putting on, and Weili was completely fine with it. So
Oh
I
yeah,
do,
she encouraged
yeah,
it.
I do see another Zhang Weili uh, title defense, but there is a world where Amanda does catch her, and I'm super interested in this fight.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be close, but all right, you got the next
I
one,
got
man.
this one: Aljamain, Sean O'Malley, the main event of 292, and I'm gonna say this right now: Aljamain shows why he is the bantamweight goat. I am an Aljo holic. I love how Aljo is as a person. I love how he fights. I love his ground game. I think he shows Sean O'Malley levels that he hasn't seen before, and I think he subs him in the second round. That is my official decision. That is my official prediction. I don't. I can see a world where he does get a little staggered. Sean O'Malley really does like show his striking, but I think Aljamain slowly but surely gets the takedown, and he will always find that back. He will always find that back, and he will get in those hooks, get in that body triangle, and Sean O'Malley's going to be in for a long night if that's the case.
Yes, I see that. But you want to talk about something that he's never seen before? He's never seen this dude, as lengthy as it is, as long as he fights, he's never seen a fighter like that utilizes that space and that distance like Sean O'Malley does. And what he does so perfectly, you saw during the Yan fight, even if it's something as like a check knee, bro. Who throws a check knee as someone's going for a low, like straight to the gut? He did that perfectly against Petter, and I think it's exactly how you stop Aljamain. Obviously, you got the jokes of the knee on the ground and throwing a knee, but actual knees, he does not defend well, and it was displayed multiple times. He's getting caught. I mean, this dude got knocked, damn near knocked out by a knee. This dude rushes in, and I don't know why. I guess he just head rushes and tries to do like a takedown with your head, and then rip the back two hooks as opposed to getting to a certain side. But all that does is just lead for that back knee, and I don't think that'll be the knockout. I don't. It's tough to say that Sean's gonna do damage like that, but I think using space, if he can utilize space, I think Sean cruises to a decision, and it sucks because Aljamain is going to be on him every single minute of every single round. So prediction wise, I got it. I want to say Sean. I want to say Sean by decision, but I'll take Aljamain. Honestly, either fighter by decision.
I
I think they distance themselves for like 2 rounds and then get into it.
I think there's no shot this fight goes to a decision. Aljamain can go 5 rounds. There is no proof that shows Sean O'Malley can go 5 rounds. And when it comes to the this is the second fight that Aljamain is not the taller opponent, not the reach, not the big reach, because he fought Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen is the same exact height, build, same exact reach than Sean O'Malley, and Aljamain pushed the pace, got Corey lacking, and got the sub. I truly don't think this fight goes to a decision. It's either O'Malley gets a knockout or Aljamain just kills and starts dragging Sean O'Malley down to the later rounds and then gets a sub. But overall, I don't see O'Malley lasting 5 rounds. I mean, yes, the pace for Jan was very high, but he did start breathing very heavily in that third, and that was with no proper wrestling coming in. Wrestling cardio is way different than
Mm,
striking cardio, you know? So if
yeah,
Aljamain does get a takedown in the first, second, blah, 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 and Sean O'Malley constantly has to defend, constantly be on the back foot, because I do think Sterling will take octagon control over Sean O'Malley.
has to, has to.
I do see Sean O'Malley getting a little bit more tired, and Sterling never gets tired. He'll throw against
Yeah,
Cejudo. He had I can't even tell you how many takedowns it was. I want to fact check this before I say anything. 15 takedowns shot with all the volume that he was throwing. With that's what these Sarah Longo guys do. You have Marab that does it well, where they will just spam these takedowns. They don't get tired over there. So I see.
unless you're taking shots on the entry, which is the vital thing, whether it be an uppercut, whether it be a knee. That's exactly what stops it. I look, man. If I'm calling it out as a spectator, you know damn well they're drilling it. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it's a close fight. Obviously, any title fight is going to be close. But I
Yeah,
see a world where Aljamain shows why he's the GOAT. I mean, this guy's resume cannot be compared other than Dominic
yeah.
Cruz. That's the only person you can compare it to.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Aljamain has had the harder competition than Dominic, which puts me to think that he is the bantamweight GOAT if he does beat O'Malley convincingly. You know?
I feel that's another topic. I feel like it's not fair to compare recent champions with older champions just because of, you know, the landscape of the UFC, but we'll see, man.
I'm super
All I gotta say, man, and new.
and new. Wow. That
And
is
new.
that is a very tall task that O'Malley.
Plus 200. Drop it in.